What's going on, fellow backpackers? My name is Dan, and today I am going to show you how I intend to seam seal my pack. Now, the pack that I have is a Superior Wilderness Designs Frameless 30, and this is made out of X-Pack material. Now, this is a waterproof material. However, water can seep through these seams, which has happened to me on my most recent Smokies trip. I had this out in the rain all night long, and when I woke up in the morning, there was a nice big puddle on the inside that I had to dump out. So I want to make this completely waterproof, so I thought I'd show you how I intend to do that. Now, my first conundrum was deciding whether to seam seal on the outside or on the inside, and I thought long and hard about this. But I ultimately decided to seam seal it from the inside. So I am going to turn this inside out and seam seal it on the inside. And what stopped me from seam sealing this thing on the outside, a couple things. Number one, where the mesh is sewn into the pack right here, I feel like I'm going to get this entire thing really messy with a bunch of silicone, and I just don't want to do that. And number two, trying to seam seal on the inside of these side pockets looks like it's going to be a little too hard. So I'm going to turn this thing inside out, and the one area where I'm a little concerned about seam sealing this from the inside is the bottom. Now, take a look at this bottom here. There are a lot of overlapping seams, and I feel like I'm just going to have to use a lot of silicone to really properly seam seal this, especially like in these corners and whatnot. Now, I'm not complaining about the way that they sewed this. I'm sure it's perfectly fine. I know nothing about sewing, so I'm going to take their word for it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just going to have to use a lot of silicone in some of these areas, like this right here. See that? That's going to be kind of hard to seam seal properly, so I will do my best. But in the end, I think seam sealing on the inside is the lesser of two evils and will probably do a better job. All right, step one, turn the pack inside out. And obviously, if you have a framed pack, remove the frame. Step two, make things easier on yourself. To give the pack some form and structure, which will help when you go to apply the silicone, go ahead and stuff a pillow or a sleeping bag or something else inside of it just to give it some form. And do yourself a favor too, wrap it in a garbage bag or something else so you don't ruin it with the silicone. If I can get the pillow in there, get in there. Good enough. Okay, when it comes to preparing your silicone mixture, I prefer to use the method that Tarp Tent recommends, which is taking some silicone, just any kind of 100% silicone that you get at the hardware store will work fine, and then diluting that a little bit with some mineral spirits. And this will just help it to so you can apply it a little more easily, and it's not as thick and gloppy as just pure silicone. And I like this because it can also get in the threads a little more easily. So dump in some silicone. You can always add more later. Then go ahead and pour in some mineral spirits. And again, this is just to dilute it. And then stir. And I think I added too much mineral spirits, but that's okay, because I have more silicone. Now, if you're mixing this and you're thinking, Dan, nothing's happening, this isn't combining, well, just keep stirring, because trust me, it will eventually combine. And sure enough, I need a little more silicone. And what you're going for is the consistency of melted peanut butter. So kind of see that's right about where I want it, right there. All right, so we have our pack suspended. Silicone is all mixed up, and I like to use just a foam brush. This tends to get it into the threads a little more easily. Just take some of that and start applying. Just brush, 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 brush. And you're going to go all around, basically wherever you see seams on the inside of this pack, and just make sure you get the silicone mixture in there really good. Just keep going around the rest of the pack. and eventually you'll be done. Now, because I decided to seam seal the inside of the pack, you also need to make sure you get inside where they overlap these seams, because water will come in through there as well. Just take your brush, kind of get right on the inside of there, and do that for all the seams. And there. And that, my friends, is all there is to it. So I'm going to let this dry for several hours, and I will also let you know how this works out the next time I'm on a trip with a lot of rain. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stick around another minute for a few bloopers. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, have fun out there. How I'm going to seam seal something. That doesn't make any sense. Take out any framing materials that are inside of framing materials. Is this lumber that I'm talking about? And sure enough, ugh, it's all sticky. Stop swinging, it's making me dizzy. Stick around a few minutes for another